Hey everybody, it's the big bad bulldog coming back at you, Mr. Metalhead YNY. How you guys doing out there in Facebook land? Or Facebook, oh my god, YouTube land. Wow. Don't mind me. I just want to take time, welcome everybody back in. Welcome anybody that has found my channel for the first time, um, by other people, by word of mouth or whatever. I want to thank people that have been sharing my channel out with people, telling people about me. I deeply appreciate you guys. I'm humbled by it. Thank you. Um, This is gonna be part 5, I believe, of some albums from 2025 releases that I want to talk about. One of the first ones, I don't think they need any type of introduction. Unleashed. These guys have been doing it for since was it 89, 80, like 89, 90. I think one of the first times I heard these guys was And the Laughter Has Died EP that they put out some time back. They're still doing it, still putting out incredible records, and this one's nothing short of I think one of their masterpieces. Um, Fire, Fire Upon Your Lands. These guys are still doing it, sticking with their Viking theme. They're Swedish death metal legends, in my opinion. Um, I still say they are part of that whole you know top 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it, um, bands that that Swedish sound. It is right there. I love the album, the CD cover. Love the album cover too. No AI, it's art like it should be. Like I said, these guys have been doing it for a bunch of years. Um, like I said, first time I heard them, um, like 89 or 90, and the Left Has Died EP, which I have it over there somewhere. I think like the bottom, like third row up or whatever the hell it is. Um, it's just His band has been insane. It's been one of my favorites. I remember when I first heard them, I was absolutely drawn to them. Um, and they whether it's this being their 15th release, it's incredible. You know, where whether it's where No Life Dwells, their first record, or you know their last one, No Signs of Life, which came out in 2021, which seems so far away for these guys. It's just nonstop great Swedish death metal. Um, this one they show a lot more of their black metal influences on this one, which I think adds to it. Um, as usual, they have great breakdowns, melodic at times, intense fucking blast beats on this record. The riffs are just in your face, like Unleashed can do. Um, the structure is good. It's commanding. The songs are not extended out too much. They're just the right length, I think. Um, and the placement is perfect. Um, Commanding growls, raw production, but it's not overly raw. I think it's perfect the way that they have it. Again, if you haven't heard these guys, not into these guys, haven't really got into them, I think they're top of they're part of that whole, you know, Swedish metal um, top, top 4, top 5. For me, it's Dismember, Entombed, Unleashed, Grave, Amon Amarth. You know, I think that Swedish metal, when they first came on the scene, it was like they kicked the door in. Especially Unleashed. I think they were in that whole era where you had this Dismember, Entombed. The two main ones, and then Grave coming along, and then right after then you had Amon Amarth. So I think Unleash has been there and just continuing just to put things out. Great albums after great album. It's another album or another band that I say has absolutely no flaws in their entire back catalog. No flaws at all. A few of my favorite, personal favorites for them are um, the '08 release, Hammer of a Battalion, a great record. Um, oh sorry, um, '02 release, I think it was Hell's Unleashed. That album, if anybody wants to get into Unleashed, I tell them check that album out. It's ferocious, it's heavy, melodic, in your face, much like this record. It's nonstop, just brutal record. Of course, my personal favorite, the '07 release, Warrior. Case in point, yes, when I started doing my channel, or when I just made up a name for the channel, um, I was doing different names, and I think I was playing that album in the background, and you know, it just stuck. You know, the Metalhead Warrior, and it, even my fiance was saying, "Do it." It sounds good. Do it. And sorry if you got any static. I don't know what that was. It's weird. Um, anyways, another one is there was '04 release, I believe. Um, Sworn Allegiance. Oh, I know I'm going back on these guys, but they have just a strong catalog, strong, output of every album. Um, even their live albums, the live album that they did, live in Poland, I think it was called, or something like that. Another one, great. If you guys never seen these guys live, I think I seen them like once or twice, I believe, like late '90s, early 2000s. Great band live. I've seen a bunch of their concerts on here. They control the stage. The fans get into them. You know, there's another great, absolutely great melodic Swedish death metal, Viking death metal, band. And this album, you know, it speaks for itself. A few of my favorites, "Fire Upon Your Hands," I think was absolutely killer track. "Left for Dead," the start of it. Um, "Hail to the Barrygonans," great track, great, perfect mid track. "Hold Your Hammers High." Um, this came out on Napalm Records. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard these guys yet, or haven't heard this record, pick this record up. Great record by these guys. You know, this is one of those records. When I saw what was album come out this year, is one of the ones I quickly wrote down. Actually, because they were saying on their sites too about it coming out. Again, I started late with the reviews, so a lot of these I had bought that I got months back. I'm just starting to do the reviews now. Again, I'm not gonna get too much into it. People know, um, be, between my move and surgery and me just taking some time off, so I'm getting to them now. I'm enjoying doing it. And there's some of them that I had to put back in to listen to make sure that I didn't miss nothing, or if I didn't hear something that I missed before. But definitely, um, Fire Upon Your Lands by Unleashed again came out on Napalm Records. Check these guys out, please. Next band I talked about this album. I mentioned it in people's chats and other streams. The new Sodom record, The Arsonist, does not need any introduction. These guys have been doing it for almost damn near 40 years now, just about. Um, I think the key with this one, they kept the second guitarist. Remember, they incorporated it on their last album, Genesis. Um, Primarily, they have always been a three piece, but they have incorporated their second guitarist on past albums, and I think it just adds to them. It adds to them being more melodic, heavier, more crisper sounding. The best part about this, there's no studio overdubs. It's all analog. Yes, analog. For you guys don't know what analog is, buy a tape. You'll see what I'm talking about. I know people say, "Oh, you got to do digital this, digital that." No, I can't stand digital. I think it's stupid. It's fake. It's just like downloading. And I know all the top 40 people out there saying, "Oh my god," people who I'm sorry, people talk about music, like the newer stuff. You can download. It's digital. You don't own it. It's a file. Okay, it's uploaded digitally. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's the way to go." No, it's not. It's obvious you guys don't. There's still a lot of people out there that don't understand analog, that don't understand having a physical copy. You know, holding vinyl like I have over there, holding tapes. You know, sorry to get off track again, but it irritates me when people say that don't that say about an album sounding great because it's digital and don't understand what it sounds like. They hear it in analog. Analog has been the way to go for decades, no matter what anybody says or thinks. Anyways, get back to this. Excuse my rant again. Um, Top to bottom, no filler tracks, no bad tracks, no skip tracks. Another album you could put on, just just play over and over again. And it's just insane. This one came out on Steamhammer Records. Again, like I said, they incorporated the second guitarist again that they had on Genesis, and I think it just adds to them. It makes them sound beefier, crisper, harder. Like I said, no studio overdubs on this. Um, it's just epic German thrash, period. And this is why they have been, I think, the top of the whole German thrash scene. I know, people say creator and destruction. I love creator and destruction. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to be talking about the new destruction Friday next stream. I do. Creator's been one of my favorites. So is Sodom. There's so many great bands that are in Germany that are coming out. You know, um, but this album, the tone is perfect. It's melodic at times. Um, the drums are just perfectly sounding, perfectly placed. You got some blast. Um, Again, they continue with their themes of war, human issues, life issues, things like that. But at times it can be somber. I mean, they slow it down a little bit. Um, some of my favorite tracks on here, um, the Witch Hunter, who incidentally, Witch Hunter is in memory, done in memory of their past drummer who passed away. I forgot his first name, but Witch Hunter was his name. That song's about, dedicated to him. The song Scavenger is just perfect. Um, Gun Without a Gun Without Groom, that about um, Twilight Void, um, Trigger Discipline. This one hits a little bit hard. It's about overhyped, overzealous shooter with all the school shootings going on recently. Yes, the school shootings. They hit on that. Right. This is what I'm talking about with bands. Talking about life issues, human issues, things that are happening, globally, not just here in the U.S., but globally. Saddam's been doing it for years. Um, I will put this up there with M16, Genesis, um, a number of their early stuff. Um, God, my mind just went blank, guys. I'm rambling on. That's why. Um, but it's an absolute classic Sodom record. Um, Agent Orange, without a doubt. Persecution Mania. Um, God, my mind just went blank on these guys right now. Why? Oh my God, you guys know what I'm talking about. I will definitely put this up there. I think this is a continuation of Genesis in a lot of ways, just the pure heaviness of it. Keeping the second guitarist, I think, makes these guys even better than they were. The album I was waiting for it to come out, and it doesn't disappoint. If you're a Sodom fan, pick this album up, The Arsonist. It it incorporates everything like they always do. Definitely pick it up. This came out, like I said, on Steam Hammer Records. Um, More like it's gonna be in my top albums without a doubt. So definitely, do me check them out. Sodom the Arsonist. Next one, another band that's been doing it for so many years. Um, I know at one time this band took a leap of faith, to say the least, and tried changing their style. It didn't work. I think this album and band is Cryptopsy and it's Insatiable Violence. This came out on Season of Mist Records. I think without without even blinking in the eye, I think that whole Lord Worm era is completely over. I think this is a continuation where as Gamora Burns left off. Heavy album, wicked vocals on this, nonstop, in your face. Um, I think Flo, the drummer, is an absolute master, absolute killer drummer. Um, I think Flo is like in the top five of my drummers of all time, nonstop, no bullshit, in your face. The the drops, the highs, the lows, the deep, the the blast on this, the chugs are just it's there. Hold on, guys. Oh, sorry. um, what was I saying? Oh, the vocals at time are harsh, in your face, not over produced. I think they're done just right. Um, I know a lot of people saying about their earlier stuff. You know, this return to it. It's a step in the right direction. Um, I think whisper whisper supremacy. You definitely could say. Um, um, even even the self-titled album Catopsy. I think it was a great. I think that was a doable record. I know Blasphemy Made Flesh, Blasphemy Made Flesh, my favorite record by them, probably one of my favorite records of all time. Definitely None So Vile. You know, it's just there's so many great records by these guys. I know a lot of people are saying about they want them to go back to their you know early sound. I would love it. Would it? Do I think they could go back to their Urgentile sound? I would love it, but Cryptopsy, I think with this album, it's a step in the right direction. Um, the track, like I said, there's no sleeper tracks on this record at all. And like I said, I think it picks up right where as Gamora Burns left off, just with just the sure heaviness of it. I think the vocals on this are some of the best in a long time. Um, some of these tracks, um, Fool's Last Acclaim. I just kept that one caught my attention a lot. Just the sheer grasp of it in your face, the nonstop. Art of Emptiness, killer track. Um, Our Great Deception, one of my favorite tracks off this record. It it's just a killer technical death metal by these guys that you know they've been doing it for a while. You know, yeah, like I said, um, again, it came out on Season of Mist. You guys don't know they're from Canada. Um, which a lot of people seem to forget that about those guys. It was great, straight in your face, technical death metal, sometimes melodic. Um, there's even some grindy parts on that record too that really caught my attention. It's just and it's just the subtle drops, the rises of it. Just an all around great record, top to bottom. I think I'm happy to see Cryptopsy back um where they should be. Like I said, As Gamora Burns was a great record. Um, like I said, I think the self-titled Cryptopsy record wasn't that bad. It wasn't a great one, but it was a step in the right direction. Um, you know, Whisper 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 Supremacy will always be one of my favorite underrated albums by them. I don't care what anybody says. I know a lot of people say it's a great album, and some people say, I know again, the Blasphemy Flesh, which going wrong, I love that record. I think it's one of the best records ever written. As I said, um, None So Vile, the same thing. Um, for guys, if you guys don't know, for who don't have it, they did a None So Vile um, um, uh, collector's collector's edition, anniversary edition of it. Excuse my throat. I have it up there. Comes with the CD, a DVD, and I think it's like a some live shows of it. A great thing to have. I got it right up there. Hold on. Hey, Fred. Yeah, that hurt my shoulders. I just stretched too much. Oh. Anyways, that's Fred, by the way. In case you guys haven't met him, that's Fred. He's just hanging around. That's Fred. Yeah. This came out in shoot. When did this come out? I know it came out on Hammerheart, but it came out in not, not so vile. You got the full album, and then Live in Montreal '96 DVD. Like I said, I'm trying to remember when this came out. But it's basically just a reissue of the album with the DVD. It sounds really good. They enhanced it a little bit, the production wise. But as for the show, they didn't touch it. There's no overdubs. At least not from what I can hear of it. There's absolutely no overdubs on it. So definitely check that out too. But yeah, definitely check out the album. Season of Miss Instead of a Violence. Again, I think it's I think it's a return to form for them or close to it. Um, well structured, melodic, heavy at times, technical, um, grindy at some points. The vocals are some of the best I think they've done in a while. The drumming is just is next to none. It's that incredible. Definitely check it out. All right, one of the next bands I want to talk to needs no introduction. Benediction. This band has been around for God, I think roughly 36 years now, I believe. Um, I talk about these guys like one of my past streams, like when I first started doing the channel. Um, I I was talking about their discography. Another band that has not put out a bad record from top to bottom in their catalog. This is their latest. Ravage of Empires came out on Nuclear Blast. There's not much I can say about these guys. Incredible death metal, melodic sometimes, heavy. This one is just in your face. I think the vocals on this are tremendous. The guitars are perfectly. The production in this is just right for them. Drums is, you know, I just can't say no about these guys. I know a lot of people, agree with me about them. Underrated, I think, overlooked a lot. Um, these guys have not put out a bad record at all, and I mean at all. First time that I heard these guys, I can remember hearing them was 1990. They did a split with Punch and Stench. It was like a one song each that they did. Um, and that EP was only um like I think 500 were made or something like that. Like 300 is some off number. Um, and I ended up getting like a burnt, like a recorded copy. I was gonna say burned, like a recorded copy of a onto it, like to a tape. Um, but one of my favorites, of course, by them is '98 Grind Bastard. Killer fucking record. Um, their last album would come out in what 21, 22, 21. Scriptures. I think Scriptures was a is a great record. It propelled them. Um, this album just picks up from there. I mean, it's been what 4 or 5 years now for them for an album. It's great record, monster record. Um, I think it, I think this combines a very good blend of scriptures. Um, Dreams You Dread, another great record. Um, even Killing Music, which I thought Killing Music was a very underrated record, in my opinion. This one, um, so many songs that would I call my um, Genesis, Genesis Chamber, Defiant Spine, Engines of War. That's self-explanatory. In the Dread of the Night, Psycho Sister, and then the title track, Ravage of Empires. It's a top to bottom, no skip tracks. Again on this very hard record. Um, it's just in your face, you know, not overdone, not underdone, just the way benedictions should be. Again, another band been around for over 30 years doing this and putting out great material. They've been putting out. I think their past 3, 4 records have been superb. Um, there has been talk about um some other reissues coming out on vinyl, I believe. Um, I know a few years back there was rumor, rumor floating around that so sorry, something just fell. That they were gonna put all like a box set of like combination of like demos, one off outtakes, singles. It's supposed to be combined with like a couple festivals that they did. I haven't heard nothing more about it. And this is one band I follow real closely because I'm a big fan of these guys. But definitely, if you haven't heard it yet, pick this album up. Latest Benediction, Ravage of Empires, came out on Nuclear Blast. Great record, great guys, great band. A band that's often overlooked for some strange reason. Another one, the subconscious terror, their debut. That's the record that I fell in love with them. Um, and then Dark is the Season, I think it was. I think it's what 92. I think I got it over there, 92 or 93. Just great records, great catalog. Check out the latest one. You won't be disappointed. One of the next band, I got a couple more. One of the next bands. This one I'm fairly new to. I have like one other album of their albums. I think one or two of their albums. Um, Deserted Fair. This came out on Testimony Records. Veins of Fire. Um, Melodic death metal. Um, it's intense. It's well structured album. Um, they they did jump from Century Media to Testimony Records. I think this sounds a hell of a lot better, crisper, more of a harder sound, better production than when they were on Central Media. And I know a lot of people that like Central Media. I was a big fan of Central Media label in the '90s. Still am to this, pretty much to this day. But I think Central Media has changed a lot, just like Metal Blade Records has changed a lot. Like I said, I got like I think one or two more of their albums over there. Um, Yeah, the 2012 release, My Empire, and the 22 released Doomsday. I think it is. It's like their fourth release, I believe. They're from Germany. I know, sixth release, six overall. That's right. I just remembered. Um, it has some atmospheric at times. Um, the guitars on this are great. The drums are good, solid, not overpowering. Um, you see right there. I know a lot of guys haven't. If you guys haven't heard this guy, heard these guys, check them out. Not a bad band, not a bad record. Um, I think, like I said, I think them switching from Central Media to Testimony was a good move for them. I think they have more. It broadens their sound more. Um, Heavy record. Um, I got a couple of their other records. This one was good. Um, I picked this up actually when I grabbed this one. That's when I picked up the Azure Emote album. Also, that's right. I remember that because I talked about them last stream. But definitely check them out. Not a bad record. Like I said, German melodic death metal, structured, a lot more structured than they were with Central Media. Production is very, very good. But yeah, check them out. Deserted Fear, Veins of Fire. I like that album cover. I really do. I think it'd be a cool shirt or even a tattoo. It's a metalhead tattoo. Anyways, I got one more for you. All right, this band, I was up in the air on this band. Um, I got like three other albums. Um, Malevolence. This is the fourth album overall. British band. Um, Metalcore. Um, some crossover, some hardcore. Um, and there's even like a little blend of groove metal in this. Um, if you're into Life of Agony, um, Shadows Fall, Hatebreed, even a band, Throwdown, absolute great band. I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Throwdown's a straight edge band." I don't give a damn about that shit. It's like people have to like categorize bands. People have to like, oh, you can't listen to them because they don't do this. They're straight edge and whatever. I don't give a fuck if they're straight edge. I'm sorry, I outgrew that shit back in high school. If people have to judge a band by how much pot they smoke, how much coke they do, how much they drink, you're not a fan of the band. I'm sorry, you're not even a fan of music. You just picking things out of thin air about why you don't like it. It makes no sense to me. Um, yeah, but check out those bands. Like I said, Throwdown is a perfect example for these guys. Like I said, I got like two other of their records over there. This came out on Nuclear Blast. Um, it has some intense breakdowns on this one. It really, really does. Um, the vocals are powerful, strong drumming. Um, for me, this this is a surprise record for me. Um, Not bad at all. Like I said again, it's the metalcore or hardcore sound to them, some groove thrown in there. I know a lot of people aren't into the metalcore and the hardcore stuff, which is fine. I understand that, you know. But I've been in the hardcore scene for a very long time. I've been in, you know, I still call it crossover. That's why people that's why when people say metalcore, I cringe. I gotta remind them, it's called crossover. I know a lot of the younger generation it, we'll call it metalcore. And I know some of us older heads say the same thing, but I still refer to it as crossover. Is it anything like a DRI or a COC or anything along that line? No, close, but no. It's more of a hardcore feel. Um, Marauder, even um, newer Sick of It All, even definitely Lamb of God. Um, even some like newer to mid Life of Agony, same thing. It's in your face, heavy riffage on this, breakdowns. There's some thrashy parts to it, very heavy moshy parts to it also. So definitely check these guys out. Malevolence from Britain. Come on, Nuclear Blast. Where where only the truth is spoken. Fairly, surprising record for me. It really, really was. Check these guys out. If you're into the crossover, you know, metalcore, hardcore scene, the groove metal, definitely check them out. I mean, no, I would say take a chance on a band. You never know, you might like it after a while. That's how I look at it. Maybe because I'm 50 years old and I was been around through that whole transition of where you had your hardcore and the metal, which the whole crossover start in the like late 80s, early 90s, which took off. But definitely check them out. If any of these bands albums you like, check them out. Um, like I said, I got a bunch more I want to get to. Like I said, this is part 5 of it, and I got a bunch of. Again, I still got a bunch of new stuff coming. Hell's Headbangers. I got one or two things that I got to check on with Bandcamp. I got some things coming from Amazon. Some other also. There was a label that reached out to me on my email um, from Mexico. I forgot the name of the label. Um, if I remember, if I see check the email, I'll put it in the description. Um, Wanted me to do some promos for them, and I said sure. And they're getting. I guess they're getting stuff together. You know, to send me. I never heard of the label. They're on Instagram. Um, I had to go to Instagram to check them out. They're they're a very heavy oriented underground label. I can tell you that black death metal, death metal, thrash, black and thrash, some war metal on there, some grind, some gore. Um, I forgot the name of it. It's in my email. Also, if anybody wants me to do any promotions for them, whatever, don't hesitate to reach out either here or on Instagram. Um, I can't remember the email address because I changed it. Actually, Mrs. Metalhead changed it. I blame her on that. Um, Sit tight, guys. Sorry. If you want to send me an email about anything on here or Instagram, Mr. Mrs. Metalhead Warrior NY, one thing across, Mr. Mrs. Metalhead Warrior NY at gmail.com. It's my email's on here also. Again, if I know people want to get their stuff out, I'll be more than happy to promote it, support it. Um, for example, you can ask Shred for Shred Beer and Lee Forming Productions, another up and coming label. Check those guys out if you haven't already. Forming Productions is running hot. Check over it. Great stuff. You got Warhammer 666. You got Kai. Never That Wins. You got Ghoulish Grin. Killer shit. Um, Devil Goat. And the Torso Heap, which was just re-released from 80s, from 99. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Again, I know I haven't said this in a while. If you want to, smash that like button, subscribe, share my channel. I appreciate the people that have been checking my channel out, subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support from everybody. Again, stay hard, stay heavy, stay metal, stay brutal. Keep it metal, keep it brutal. This is the one, the only, the bulldog saying, if you're gonna do something, make that shit count. I am out.